Hello, British Sam here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex CASGEVY. I want to talk about 2025 and the following years. I want to talk about all of this here in this video. I've been hearing a lot of things, I've been seeing a lot of things, and a lot of people are making claims that are kind of not really backed up by facts. And I think that really makes sense during a bear market. Everything makes sense during a bear market, everything negative rather. And it's the same for a bull market, right? And during a bull market, everything positive makes sense. Okay. So let's get back in the bear market. Obviously, we're in the longest bear market in the history of biotech. It's been well over 3 years and a half since 2021. Sometime late 2021, we hit the bear market, and it's been since then didn't even have cap bounces, to be honest. It's been really a bear market, stable, consistent, then drop, consistent, then drop, a little bit up, then drop. We've been seeing it. Everybody in this channel is aware of this bear market. I don't need to speak further about it. What I do want to speak about is the progress of CASGEVY. Now, CASGEVY was approved by the FDA in late 2023, specifically around December, second week of December, and we're well over 1 year. And here are the results. We have 44 patients treated with CASGEVY. Okay, and we have, let's take a look, 29 and of the 31 who remain in study long enough to be evaluated for achieving having no pain episodes for at least 1 year. Okay, so this is obviously the trial they have ongoing. We know this, we're well aware. However, However, what we do want to talk about here is that there are approximately 16,000 patients with sickle cell disease who may be eligible for CASGEVY. Now, obviously, 16,000 is 15,000. Obviously, these are very important details, but at least we know it's a five-figure number, and we know that's just in US, and that's just for sickle cell disease. And we also know many of these patients are by Medicaid. Now, obviously, how many of them percentage? These are details obviously we want to figure out at some point, but at least we have some of it. Of course, this is all generated by Google Gemini here, their OpenAI competitor here, ChatGPT competitors. I'm using this, and it actually works really well. Um, During the Vertex second quarter earning call, they said 20 patients were in the funnel to receive CASGEVY. And actually, if you look at this article here that was published just a couple of weeks ago, we actually have 40 patients that have at least one cell collection, doubling from last quarter's 20 patients. So obviously, this is outdated here. So we have 40 patients now, doubling for last quarter. So what does that mean? From second quarter to third quarter, we went from 20 patient cell collection to 40 now. What will be the fourth quarter, right? Is it going to be another double? Who knows, right? We're going to have to wait for those results. But however, we have 45 treatment centers, ATCs, set up for this gene editing therapy for CASGEVY, and they're well on their way to meet 75 globally. Okay, so they're on track to meet the goal, and they've doubled the patient size. Now, obviously, people last year when this was approved, people were thinking, well, let's get 1,000 patients right away. This is not how it works. Okay, 1,000 patients was a figure that was given a couple of years ago by CRISPR Therapeutics CEO, Dr. Sam, and still CEO and president of the company. And he said in an interview in 2021, I believe, he believes around 1,000 a year at some point once it gets commercially available. Nobody thought in their sane mind that you would get 1,000 patients in 2024. Okay, I never thought about it. In fact, for me, 2024 was more of a setting up for commercially to launch it. Now, obviously, I do have expectation for 2025. Okay, you have these treatment centers set up. You have 45 of them activated. Again, this number is old. It should be over 50 at this point since their goal is to reach 75. So it should be over 50 at this point, hopefully. Either way, you have 45 of them set up. If you make the math here, if each treatment center can dose at least 3 patients for 2024, then you have 150 patients. 2025, then you have 150 patients for 2025 that have been enrolled, dosed, and basically paid for and make commercial money revenue for this program. Now, obviously, this is a big thing, okay? We need to make these types of calculations, because otherwise you're just making empty statements, right? There's a lot of people out there saying, well, they haven't made a single cent off. That's not true. That is not true. If you have 40 patients, like you see here, doubling from 20 from last quarter from cell collection, that means there's a plan for each of them to pay with their insurance and so on, whether that's Medicaid in the US, doesn't matter. They're going to get the money. It's $2.2 million per therapy. If you do the math here, let's just do a basic math just for the sake of calculation here. 2.2 million, let's take a look here. Let's do 2.2 million times 40. That's $88 million made so far in revenue. Now, obviously, revenue is one thing. You want to look at profits. That's very low. Don't get me wrong. We're not saying that this is the figure that we were hoping for in 2025. Obviously, 2024 was an experimental year. It's going to take some time. It was a launch year. Whether it takes 8 months, 12 months, 16 months, that obviously we can't really make those bold statements before 2024 started. Obviously, it took a whole year to get to this point. Now, what I do expect for 2025 is at least 3 patients for each of those ATCs, because now you have 150 plus patients dose. And if you do the math here, 150 patients per sorry, let's just fix that, 2.2 million. That's 330 million. You see where these numbers are coming from. Now let's just pretend that these 50 ATCs do 4 patients a year. Okay, for next year, then you have 450, almost half of a billion. Let's go extremely bullish. And again, I'm making these statements kind of empty at this point, but I think you have to do that math to sort of understand the revenue and how much money they can make from this, right? From Vertex. And of course, CRISPR Therapeutics only owns 40% of that. You got to make sure if they're making half a billion from this program, they're only owning 40% of that, which is less than a quarter billion, right? So let's say they do just bullish statement. Again, I don't think they're going to reach that for 2025, but let's just pretend like those 50 ATCs approximately are going to make 10 patients each ATCs. Then you have 500 patients dose, and if you do the math here, then you have $1.1 billion. This is how you get to the billion revenue. 10 patients per ATCs, approximately 500 patients. Now, is that possible? Obviously, it is with the number of patients around the world. In the US alone, we just saw that figure here from 16,000 patients. 500 patients is not even, what is it? Let's take a look here. Let's do the percentage here because um, sorry for the spam, guys, of the subscribe and everything. That's the keystroke being hit here on my OBS recording here. The keystroke that goes when it asks you to like and subscribe. Do like and subscribe, of course. But this is 3%. Just 500 patients, just 3% of the sickle cell disease population currently. And a lot of them are covered by the Medicaid. Now, obviously, it's not just the US, right? There's UK, there's Saudi, there's Bahrain, there's Europe, there's many other regions around the world with sickle cell disease. Will they hit 500 patients in 2025? I don't know. Will they hit at least 1 patient or 2, 3 patients per ATCs? Absolutely. I mean, this has to be a planned Vertex or planning. Now, obviously, they're going to share these numbers, these metrics. I haven't seen a lot of it so far. You got to give it time. And these companies are extremely careful making these bold statements, because you can bet if they say they're going to do 150 patients and they fall short of that, you can bet that Vertex stock is going to get hit. CRISPR Therapeutics stock is going to get decimated if it hasn't been decimated already from this bear market. So they're being extremely conservative and careful. And maybe that's the fault. That's actually a fault. That's maybe a mistake, right? Because they're kind of sandbagging the potential for this program, right? For CASGEVY, or maybe not, right? These are people that are working on this program on a daily, hourly basis. They've already done double from last quarter patients, up to 40 patients. By quarter 4 results, who knows how much they can do by next quarter or in a couple of months. Will they always double? I don't think so, but will they at least grow significantly that portion to maybe 150, 200, or hopefully 500 patients to reach that $1 billion revenue plus? Absolutely. I think there's a play. Will they do it all in 2025? I don't know. I'm here for the long term, guys. Remember this. We're in it for the long term. And I want to end this video with just a reminder to people with this chart from RKK. ARKK, which is obviously their holdings for technology companies in the innovation space, for ARK Invest. And the attention I want to give you guys is this CRISPR Therapeutics at 3.9%, ahead of Meta, ahead of Pat, just behind of Square slash Block and Shopify and Hood and Palantir, and of course Coinbase, Roku, and Tesla. Like, for ARK Invest to put CRISPR Therapeutics up there, you got to remember these are millions of dollars. ARK Invest is probably the most popular institutional ETF around the world, I think, for retail investors. They obviously are betting big on this company, right? They're betting big on the CRISPR landscape as a whole with Beam and NTLA and so on. But obviously, they see this playing out. Obviously, they've studied it. Obviously, they've done their research here. And for us to sit there and say that CRISPR Therapeutics will go bankrupt or will not make a single cent in 2025, as I saw someone say on X a couple of weeks ago, that's false, right? Now, am I saying they're going to be making $1 billion revenue from that program in 2025? Maybe not. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't, right? This is not something we can just make a 100% confident statement on. But I do know that they're going to increase from that 40 patients, which again is already 88 million. That's not nothing, right? You guys got to make sure you understand this. 88 million grows exponentially. It's 2.2 million per patient. Okay. Now, obviously, that money is not going to be awarded right away, or you know how insurance company work and all that process. I'll be honest, I don't even know fully understand how this process fully works, but I do know it takes time to to yield that money and to obviously get that money in. And obviously, there's a process with ex vivo, which is what CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex are doing with CASGEVY, CRISPR Cas9 ex vivo, which means you get the patient in the ATC, in the treatment center, you take the cell out, you do some work on the cell. Obviously, you schedule another time to insert back the cell and then to the body, and then you monitor them. Of course, if you have to make any adjustment, you have to do it. Clinical trials have shown promise that it does cure it. FDA approved it. It's commercially available. It's going to happen. Okay, it will happen. The question is when. I think 2025 is the breakout year, and I think 2026 we're going full on runaway mode, and it's gonna generate that billion for sure. I'm making that bold statement right now in end of 2024 that 2026 at some point they will have at least 1,000 patients dosed. Will they do 20,000 patients in 2026 alone? I don't know. Will they have up to 2,000 patients by that dose? I strongly believe. Probably towards the end of the year, mid-year, I don't know. I strongly believe it. I'm seeing it so far from 20 to 40, just in quarter to quarter as they're launching these ATCs up, and they have more ATCs. Just gotta remember they're 45 officially. If you make the math here, um, if you make the math here, sorry, if you make that math, they're only 60% online with ATCs. They still have 40% ATCs to go, and they're already doubling patient size. It's gonna come fast, guys. It's gonna come fast. Stay on the lookout, guys. Do your research, build your conviction. Don't let the bear market discourage you. Stay with your conviction. Again, not financial advice. You guys have to do what's best for you, your family, your career, community, your friends. Do what's best for you. But if you're in this, you've been in this for a couple of years, you're in this for a long run, build your conviction, do the research, and as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. Sorry for the whole spamming of subscribing. Like I said, it's a hotkey being pressed. Do subscribe, guys. It really does help the channel. And I want you guys to, again, leave me a comment below. What do you guys think about these numbers? What's your predictions, revenue, patients, those? Let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful Monday, guys. Let's get this started. Thank you.